and welcome back to Disney Tourist Vlog. Today we're going to discuss our grand opening day at Shanghai Disneyland. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Tom. So for most of you, this is the debut edition of our vlog. Some newsletter subscribers might have seen a test edition that we sent out a few weeks ago just to sort of get our feet wet as we prepared to enter the treacherous waters of vlogging. And that didn't go so great. We got a lot of good feedback from you all, some of which we've incorporated into the video, but
it's a work in progress.
It's definitely a work in progress. As these clips you're about to see will demonstrate, we didn't get everything quite right on this trip to Shanghai, so this is sort of just a preview of what's to come. It's gonna be really good. Crap, I don't know. On top of that, the humidity level here was easy.
As you can see, we really don't know how to work a video camera, but we will figure it out at some point, hopefully.
We promise it only gets better. Maybe, maybe not. There's more though. So we're here at Shanghai Disneyland at the turnstiles. You can see above the castle in the background, the flower bed. I'm about 2 hours in advance, so a little jumping the gun just a bit on this, but we're excited and we won't bore you with 2 hours of us anxiously waiting in line. Alright, so we were super hyped before because we were right under the turnstile, like 10 feet away from the park entrance. Unfortunately, that was just a line to exchange our digital tickets for print ones, and now we're in this vast expanse of backstage, grass, all around, like 10,000 people back. Worst of all, we're in the rain. So Sarah brought this fancy umbrella for like $160. Actually, I think it was like 160 yuan, which is maybe $25 to $30. But we wait another hour and a half or 2 hours. So.
But at least we have our friend Mark here.
Hi guys. All right, we'll check back in later. We are walking into Shanghai Disneyland. You can see the castle in the distance. Cast members lining the sides. Pretty cool. Oh, you're right there.
One of the reoccurring themes of this video that you'll quickly notice is that we glazed over several major important parts of the day. And this is because we were honestly so excited to be there that we kind of forgot about recording. So we definitely got lost in the moment.
All right, so we started out by going to Pirates of the Caribbean, Battle for the Sunken Treasure. We're not going to give you ride by ride what we did. We've covered a lot of that in the trip report already, and this is meant to sort of be a supplement to that that's less focused on being a treatise on our first day in Shanghai Disneyland. So Battle for the Sunken Treasure was awesome. What did you think of it?
Wow, okay, so I honestly had no idea what to expect. Tom and I tried to avoid all of the Shanghai Disneyland stuff in advance, so we didn't watch any ride-through videos. I honestly tried to read very little about Shanghai Disneyland as far as what was going to be in the park and what to expect from the attractions. So I was actually blown away by the experience. It was such an incredible way to start our day at Shanghai Disneyland.
Likewise, we don't want to spoil it for you, but there are it's an epic attraction. I think that's the best way to describe it. It really melds together what Universal and Disney each do very well in terms of attractions, and that's high praise. That should be considered as high praise. It's one of the best modern day attractions, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Moving on after that, we did a few more things in Fantasyland. I'd say the highlight was probably Peter Pan's flight.
Yeah, that was nice. Absolutely.
Which felt a lot like the traditional charming Fantasyland style version of the ride, but with some next generation effects and
Mandarin.
and Mandarin. So that was cool. After that, we split up. We got fast passes, did a few other things, and then we split up from Mark and Molly, who went to watch the parade. And in the meantime, Sarah and I
do what we love most.
Yeah.
Eating. We ate.
So we went to Mickey and Pal's cafe, and here you will see us enjoying our meal there.
Hey guys, it's Sarah and Tom, and we are at Mickey and Pal's enjoying our first meal at Shanghai Disneyland. We're super hungry because we've been going hard today, riding a lot of attractions and having fun. Anyway, Tom, tell us what you're eating.
This is the seafood laksa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's actually really good. Big pieces of seafood in here. You got quail eggs in here. It's a sizable portion. It actually reminds me a bit of something that they serve at Morimoto Asia at Disney Springs and Walt Disney World. The quality here is really good. Almost as cool as that here, you have the grand opening cup, and notice Pepsi, the official drink of Shanghai Disney Resort, unlike Coca-Cola everywhere else.
I am going to be sharing the pork dumplings with Tom. They're a specialty here, and I tried one, they're really good. Also, I'm going to eat the beef spare rib, and that's also delicious. It's really tender. I'm looking forward to trying the rest of it. So after we stopped ourselves at Mickey and Pal's, we headed over to Tomorrowland. What did you think of Tomorrowland?
My feelings are a little mixed about Tomorrowland. This one had a totally different design aesthetic, and some elements of that were really cool. Obviously the Tron coaster was really cool, just seeing it from the land. The biomimicry of various elements, also really neat. But it had this cold, futuristic aesthetic too.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with some of what you're saying. I actually am a big fan of this Shanghai's version of Tomorrowland. I think it really comes alive at night.
All about Tron, right?
Yeah. So I have to say I'm disappointed that we missed out on something that would have been really unique to see, uniquely at Shanghai. There is a stage show which features Baymax, and Baymax, I don't even know what he does. It's an exercise show. Definitely a regret of not experiencing that in Tomorrowland.
Of all the things to have regret about, I can probably live with that one. We walked past it a couple times, and it was just sort of like Baymax moving around. It's one of those things that struck me when I read the attraction roster as really bizarre, and it sounded like just this temporary thing. It's sponsored by Pepsi, which, as you saw in the...
Once you want to get working out with Pepsi,
yeah,
I guess.
As you saw in the Mickey and Pal's video, Pepsi is the official drink there, which the internet was all abuzz with, 'cause, there's that whole Coke versus Pepsi rivalry. But it seems sort of odd to have Pepsi, this sugary soft drink, be a sponsor for an exercise show.
Also to have an exercise show in the park just seems funny. I was envisioning it would be something like Mousercise for any of you guys that used to watch Mousercise back in the late 80s, early 90s. It was pretty rad, and I think Baymax it would be doing something cool like that. But
it is interesting, I think, that we've probably spent about as much time talking about this Baymax exercise video as it would have show, as it would have just taken us to watch the thing in the park. But we got plenty of exercise just walking all over the place. The park is huge.
Oh my gosh, we were walking, 15 miles a day?
I think that my Fitbit showed more than 15 miles a day, like 30,000 steps some of the days. So after we spent some time walking around the park from side to side and getting a feel for the different lands, it was time to use our Tron Light Cycle Power Run Fast Passes. And we actually did remember to record our reaction after we got off that attraction, and here it is.
So we just rode Tron, and it was amazing. I really like Tron. I love the music, and I had a really great experience. I was blown away. I'm not a big thrill ride person, and I thought this was great. So
The ride seems really cool. There's one mentality that we were going to try to get fast passes for this time of night. It didn't work out that way, unfortunately, and we didn't want to wait too long to get our fast pass because they were going quickly.
And we had to do it.
So our first experience was during the day. We definitely would recommend it at night, though. So after Tron, we had some time to kill before our next fast pass. So we spent some time wandering around the park. We went through some gift shops. We
ate at...
We ate again, yeah.
We ate again. Well, I didn't, but everyone else did.
I ate again,
yeah.
Probably less than an hour and a half after I'd eaten the first time. We ate at Tangled Tree Tavern in Fantasyland.
The exterior is really cool. Beautiful exterior. What did you think of the interior?
It was fine. We really didn't spend a whole lot of time in there because it was packed with people and we ended up having to eat outside. And right about the time we sat down, it started pouring. And I would say it rained for a good, probably just 20 minutes while we were in there.
Downpour.
And it was just a downpour. And actually, that's another excuse why we don't have more footage from that day, because it was raining off and on, so...
It was pouring constantly.
We really didn't have the camera out a lot of the time. I know you can't really tell from the footage we do have because obviously we weren't recording when it was raining, so it just looks clearer in this video. But I would say shortly after that, it pretty much cleared up for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it cleared up.
Alright, so we also had the chance to spend some time in some of the gift shops. This was a big deal for us because we figured that the merchandise would be the best and the most unique on opening day. So Sarah, what did you think of the merchandise at Shanghai Disneyland?
Shanghai Disneyland had a ton of great merchandise that has opening day listed. Shanghai Disneyland opening day, which is great because a lot of the foreign parks, or parks in general, unfortunately, don't really have specific merchandise, or it doesn't say the location. I'm not really huge into getting a bunch of souvenirs from anywhere, but we made an exception to that rule because the merchandise was pretty sweet. So we did get some cool luggage tags that say Grand Opening Shanghai. Like you can see, we got a couple shirts. We definitely picked up some mugs, but we will actually talk about this more in detail later if you guys are interested.
We'll bring out our bags of merchandise. Favorite lands were Treasure Cove and Adventure Isle, which I think are sort of companion lands to one another. Which lands were your favorites?
Well, I actually love both of those lands. Treasure Cove was one of my favorites, as was Tomorrowland, which we already discussed, Tomorrowland at night. Treasure Cove was really rich in detail.
But for the rest of the day, I think we basically spent some more time doing Pirates and a few other attractions before it was time for dinner and to get a spot for the fireworks.
Did we eat dinner that day?
Did we eat dinner that day?
I don't think we did, because I remember going home pretty hungry, because normally at Disney parks I like to eat several times, but I think that I only ate one meal that day.
Oh, we better cut this part out because we don't want to lose any street cred for people who normally eat a ton. And we actually, now that I think about it, we did not eat dinner that day. No. I ate 2 meals because I ate at Tangled Tree Tavern, but you did not. We had a little bit of drama with the fireworks spot. We ended up, it was totally chaotic in the Gardens of Imagination, which are technically a land in Shanghai Disneyland, but really it's just a glorified hub. Anyway, it was really chaotic there. Sarah and Molly, you ended up holding down a spot for Mark and I.
We did. We held our ground. We ended up moving from that location.
Yes, so we moved up to Mickey Avenue. It was almost empty. You shouldn't say it was almost empty. It was far, far less crowded. And everyone was sitting down, so it was great. We went up there, we sat down with the rest of the crowd, but maybe like 50 yards or so in front of us, there was one couple standing. Well... Unfortunately,
we should have stayed at the other spots, but we didn't know. I mean, that's...
They didn't sit down,
yeah.
And within less than a minute of the show starting, it was just a wave of people. All the people that had been sitting down suddenly were standing up, and a lot of people were grumbling about it. And it was sort of annoying that those 2 people ruined it for everyone else, but I guess that's the way it goes.
Yeah, it is.
We ended up standing, and
I think a dream from Storytellers a couple nights later, and the experience was completely different. And I actually enjoyed the show. So, I guess it's just, different opinions on that. And you got some pretty cool pictures, I think.
Yeah, I ended up having to shoot the show handheld, like holding my camera up in the air, because my tripod wasn't tall enough to reach over all the iPads that were being held up in the air. So I got lucky with some stuff. It was very cool. The end, like Sarah said, was emotionally moving. So what did you think of Ignite the Dream, the fireworks show at Shanghai Disneyland?
Yeah, so Ignite the Dream, I was pretty underwhelmed day one. I really loved, what was after Ignite the Dream?
I guess you can just call it the grand opening finale.
The grand
I believe that's what they
opening
called it.
finale was exquisite. The score was so breathtaking. It was by far one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in conjunction with fireworks. It was honestly heartwarming. I mean, I could come up with a bunch of descriptive words. It was really the perfect way to end the day.
Yeah, it was definitely an emotionally provocative score, whatever you want to call it. And then after the fireworks, Sarah went home.
No, I actually went shopping. So
Oh.
I could not pass up that opening day merch shopping. I wanted to make sure I grabbed some of the stuff that said Shanghai Disneyland grand opening. I
So-
wasn't sure if it was going to sell out or not, you know?
So where did you go?
I went to, I don't even know, was it the Emporium? Is that what it's called?
It's not called the Emporium. I don't remember what it is called.
Yeah.
Mickey Avenue. It's
Mickey
their
Avenue.
version of the Emporium that stretches the entire length of the left side of Mickey Avenue. That's
Yeah.
where you were.
I was for a long time. So I was getting shirts like this. I got Tom a couple surprises, and then
Have I got those yet?
You got them. Yes, you did get them the first night. I got
So
some.
I don't have more surprises coming, like birthday, holiday,
I wouldn't count on
Christmas,
it.
Labor Day.
No.
No? Alright.
So I did get some cool merchandise, and then I waited in line, which of course was to be expected, and that was fine. I had no problem with that. And then I decided to head on home, and I took a bus to get home to Disneyland Hotel.
And during this time, I went back into Tomorrowland to take some pictures, to get all the photos I wanted. Brand new park. I wanted to get as many pictures as I could.
And maybe take a little bit of video.
And I did take some video, and you'll see some of the video that I got from Tomorrowland here. And this, you'll probably notice that I was a little bit preoccupied during this video. And this is sort of demonstrative of our video taking experience as we're trying to get into vlogging, where I'm maybe trying to juggle a couple of things at once. But here's video from Tomorrowland at Shanghai Disneyland. And then after that, I moved up to the front of the park, Mickey Avenue, to get some more pictures. And I also got video there, and that's how we'll close out this first installment, day one of the Shanghai Disneyland vlog. Anything else, Sarah?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Alright, here's the Tron coaster. Look at that baby. Pretty awesome. We went on this earlier, didn't get a chance to do it tonight, but it is definitely a cool kinetic energy here in Tomorrowland. Closing the night down at Shanghai Disneyland. Down to the last few guests, you can see castle behind, Mickey Ave, pretty much empty. Just my buddy Mark over here, me, and this view. All in all, a great day. All right, that wraps it up for day one at Shanghai Disneyland. As you can see, the park is totally, well, not totally empty. A bunch of cast members getting ready. Nice little test pattern on the castle there off in the distance. You can see the lower water pattern thing. I guess that's a sign to go home. Pick up tomorrow.